welcome everybody to Autotelic Drive. Okay, so today, welcome to Autotelic Drive. My name is Pauline Dugald, and today I'm here with Dominic. Dominic actually started Super Production Challenge, and I want to ask you a couple of questions about what was your story? How did you begin with this massive endeavor? Because it is, how many cars is it now?
This weekend we got 31 cars at Calabogie. Normally we're between, I would say, 30 and 40 cars per event.
30 and 40 cars for a Canadian motorsport event is actually quite a lot. In the years, in the prior years, it has been coming down in numbers of those cars on track, essentially, because it's always been up and down. It's the nature of sport and motorsports. So to have 40 cars on track is quite a bit. So tell us a little bit about the story of that.
Well, first of all, I was born and raised in racing. I mean, my father was involved. My mother wanted to race in the Honda series in the end of 70s. So I was in the paddock as a little child, running everywhere, and I've always been in the paddock. And yeah, when I grew up and starting autocourse.ca in 2000, but going on the media side, I discovered another side of it, and then I went to racing. So I raced 2 seasons, discovering another thing, and then, well, the driver were asking me, Dominic, you should jump in, because I was understanding some side of racing that normally promoters don't understand. The driver's side, the reality of spending money, spending time, being away from your family during weekend, and at the same time, the reality of the corporate sponsorship. You want money to go racing, you need to find a way to go racing. So putting everything together, you were looking at that period of time, it was very messy in Canada. I mean, at the end, when the tobacco sponsorship stopped in Canada, it was a mess. I mean, Berman Motorsport Group at that time in the 90s were keeping Canadian motorsport on their shoulder, but like hell, and they did a wonderful job. Unfortunately, everything collapsed because nobody was helping them. And then when the 2000 came, everything went back to the regional scene. And surprise, well, I was responsible of the regional scene in Quebec. So yeah, first of all, we created with a friend of mine, Jacques Gravel, the Touring Hankook Championship. It was we took a base from what Quebec regional scene had, but we bring out like incredibly. It was a period of money and a lot of team. I mean, it was based on the Speed World Challenge touring car. We had some cars running both series. We had real-time Acras in the series. We had Mazda Protege from Tri-Point that were racing with us. So we started a Molson Indy in Montreal in 2004, 42 touring cars. And in a 15-lap race, there was 25 lead changes in 15 laps. It was, we had a standing ovation after that race. So just to give you an idea of the atmosphere of racing in those years. And then, if people knows about the Canadian history, CTCC arrived, and John went to a national level, which was very important at that period because there was an Ontario Championship, a Quebec Championship, and I don't want to go in politics side, but some people decide to push me out of racing, and it was okay. But when I went out, well, the Quebec scene went down directly. So John was there at the right time, right moment, with great idea. He bring the CTCC up, but unfortunately with budget goes up also. And around 2010, I still remember, I was at the Trois-Rivières Grand Prix, and team were stopping me by, all the Quebec teams, and they said, Dominic, can we talk for 2 minutes? We need to bring back the Touring Hankook Championship. We need to bring back, the costs are so insane. We can't follow up with other teams. You know, the smaller team were struggling following CTCC. So I was thinking about it, and we did the meeting at the beginning of December 2010, and we take the decision that I think this was the 20th of December 2010, and we announced it in February 2011. So in about 60 days, we create the rule book, the schedule, everything with nothing. We didn't know how many cars will show up, and the first race it was June 5th, 2011, if I remember correctly, with a very huge field of 12 cars. But we did it, and we put on the table something quite different on racing. It was all ideas from competitors, like inversing the grid, like with a dice. If you have a chance this weekend, we can show you how we do it. It's very strange. Many things, standing start, many things that we had to the mix, and those ideas were from the drivers and also ideas from other series around the world. So it's sometimes promoter are having problem with their racing history. They're doing the same thing again and again and again and again, and that's you need to remember, we are in Canada. People with money will race in the States with a lot of money. So you need to be careful with your customer, because Formula racers are customers, and you need to be careful where you want them. Is it you need to keep them at people with money, not to spending too much money, and people without money that are able to compete with those guys with money. So I think that's the secret. So to answer your question, it was 15 years of patience, 15 years of hard try, tears, joys, patient. But well, today for the last 5 years, I had 4 other partners. Now we are 3 other partners that helped me a lot, because now I think the 4 of us that are part of SPC, even if I created 4 of us now, each one has their force. I mean, I'm more on the side of taking care of the competitors, the medias, and also all the promotion around it. But I had guys, if they were not there, finding the sponsorship, finding the money or the tech ideas or stuff like that, because I've been in racing for the last 46 years. But honestly, for me, it's a race car. You open the hood, I know it's an engine, but don't ask me how to set up a car. I don't have a clue.
Wow, that is incredible. So that is incredible. I was actually there with the CCTC in 2007, 8, 9, 10. So I remember the patterns that we had. We had, well, about 30 cars in a good weekend, but it depended on the year. It depended on the month. So to get a good turnaround was it was here and there, because we are in Canada. That's kind of the nature of motorsports. And it is interesting what you're saying. Is like, first of all, that you started in the 90s. Like, wow, that's been a long time. And there has been a lot of changes within the motorsport itself.
Oh, yeah.
Over the years. And one of the main things that I noticed you saying is that you actually listened to the drivers, what they wanted, and continued listening to them, what they wanted and what they were asking for, and then gave it to them. And that is actually the key part in a successful business or enterprise of any sort, listening to the market, listening to what they want. Because when the market is not being listened to, then people leave, essentially. Is that how you see it?
Yes, and also you need sometimes to push your customer. I mean, the way the structure is to race in SPC, you got 3 ways to doing it. You got a la carte, which we always know, you spending that money during the weekend, you show up. But I would say 94% of our team are using the full season package, which is you register before the 1st of March, saving money, but you register for the 5 races. You're not spending money for the rest of the year. I'm not talking about tires and fuel and stuff like that, but I mean in entry fees. So if a guy is pissed off and he said, I will not show up, don't show up. We already got your money. So as a company, we have all the money, the budget to pay the tracks, to have everything, to have a show together. And sometimes teams that were pissed off because it's an emotional sport, they said, okay, yeah, well, I was mad at, let's say, CTMP. Let's go to Calabogie. I mean, let's forget it and have fun. Instead of the old way to do it, they said, no, I'm pissed off, I'm not coming back and selling everything. When you got a way to make them think twice of their decision, I think it's the way. That's why we got so many teams following us this year. I mean, this year is the 15th season of SPC, and we decide for this anniversary season visiting the 5 most challenging track in Eastern Canada. So we went to Mosport, we went to Atlantic Motorsport Park, to Rivière. We're here in Calaboguin, we're finishing at Mont-Tremblant. So you can ask for a better schedule this year. And you were saying you were with CTCC, and as an historian, I review the season of CTC, and I can tell you exactly the turning point of CTCC. And if I remember, it was 2008, 2009, when the Krikorian brothers with their Subaru came with a huge amount of power and a well-prepared car by Can-Jam Motorsport. And instead of choking them, they went to other teams and, well, had more horsepower. And that was the turning point, because I know many teams said, well, screw you, I don't want to spend on 20, 30K engine to follow them.
Yeah.
Instead of choking 2 cars, they were asking for 20 cars to put more money in their cars.
Yeah.
So that's the main point. That's why we're using BOP and SPC. We are trying to choke guys that are trying to trick a little too much the rule book. And we're using data, so we know everything. Sometimes teams are complaining, this weekend are complaining, it's unfair that I got more weight than the other, and you look at the data, can you give me an answer for this? And honestly, yes, we need to listen to customer, but also you need to be harsh on them. If you want to whine, well, put your car in the trailer, and maybe it's not the right product for you. I mean, we're trying our best for all our customer, and when you have 30 to 40 happy customer and you got 1 or 2 are unhappy, maybe it's just not the right product for them, so maybe they should look somewhere else.
Yeah, that is one actually thing that I remember when the Krikorian showed up with the turbo. There was so much discussion about what are we going to do, how are we going to restrict it, how much are we going to restrict it, are we going to restrict other cars? Because one of the things is that, so for anybody who doesn't really know the details about racing, you look from the outside and you know F1. F1 is the cars are constructed very similarly. They have guidelines, they have regulations. Everybody constructs their own car, but there are very strict rules of how you construct it. But when you add a whole bunch of different manufacturers, there is really no standard. It's really hard to maintain the rules. So if you were to explain to people who might not understand this, how would you combine a whole bunch of different cars in the same race?
You need to be smart, and you need to use a technology. I mean, SPC are like it is today. Well, it was impossible building this 20 years ago. Now we got technology that is possible. Everybody's playing with data. We know all car got the AIM system or the Motec system. So now we can absolutely know, without a doubt, if it's the driver or if it's the car. Best example in the compact class at Mosport. Some teams were complaining about few cars, and we look at the data, and honestly, data for me, it's like the engine. I know it's an engine data, I know it's a data, but don't ask me to explain it. So I always say to my tech guys, make me put colors in it, please, you know. And when they show me, let's say the top 6, 7 cars were all together-ish, corner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5A, 5B. 5B at Mosport then is a straightaway. You don't need talent, foot to the floor. Can you explain me how you can have a 1.7 second advantage on that straightaway with a 100 wheel horsepower compact car? You need more horsepower than the other one. So this is how you can measure it. And as the team, how did you do this? Oh, it's my driving style. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's your driving style. Yeah. I mean, we all know that kind of driving style on the highway, So that's a way you can find trying to equalize cars. And we also let teams be smart enough to say, okay, let's be fair, let's have fun on track. And if they're not, well, we heading way to the car, buy the series, and they are unhappy. We had car this weekend that tried to be smart at Trois-Rivières, and they had a BOP of 300 pounds. This weekend, they are unhappy. We don't care. Honestly, if they're unhappy, it's because SPC is not the right product. So this is how we can manage to have an equal feel and good racing.
Yeah, that is the heart of the racing motorsport, essentially, to have a good experience. Because in Canada we only have like 5-6 months of racing, everything else is winter. So it's important to fit as much as possible of these good things in there and keep it relatively just and correct according to the rules, because everybody wants to be fair. That is one of the particular things that I have observed in my time with CCTC, is people always fighting whether it's fair or not. They want to be treated like they are important, but they also want to make sure that other competitors are being treated equally. And when the cars are so different, it can be tricky to keep. But as we said, the data and the technology now allows for a lot better maintenance and monitoring of the rules and regulations and consistency across the teams. And so, and that is actually what makes me think about motorsports. It is a passion, but it is also a business. And so how do you see the combination of those two?
It's a difficult mix. Some teams here in SPC are business, otherwise some other are by pure passion. And it's very hard to make them understand, because competitor is never their fault. It's always the other fault. So if they don't have a sponsorship, it's hard for them to look at themselves and say, what did I did wrong? And they said, oh, it's because my results are not good enough. No, it's not. So how do you present yourself? How do you behave also? I mean, you know, you've been in racing for so many times. We saw so many good, talented drivers, but their attitude is just pure shit. Sorry about my word, but it's only pure shit, and they don't understand that there's so many drivers on the market. So if you want to become a pro driver, you need to be smarter than the other, and it's the same for a team. In trying to mix hobby and business, it's hard. It's very hard. We trying to keep on family level, business pro level organization, but trying to keep more passionate people inside. It's really a balance, very hard to keep. Honestly, it's the hardest thing to do at this moment of the racing history in Canada. It's really, keeping the balance is the most difficult thing.
It totally is. It would be difficult for an individual to keep the balance within themselves, the business aspect of the racing, what they are doing, and also the passion. But for organizer and the series itself, it could be also just as challenging. And that actually touches upon the subject matter that I am passionate about the most, which is peak performance, which is the attitude, which is the mindset, which in my opinion comprises 90% of success or failure. So in a way, it is individual performance that is matter, but together everybody has to perform at its optimal in order for the series to work, in order for the race to work. So how do you perceive the peak performance or the optimal performance within the team as a whole?
Such a tough question. I mean, you know, some teams are just happy to be here at the track. They don't care. Nobody want to finish last, but I got some guys here, it's their first season, just finishing the race. They're coming out with a smile, having fun, and some drivers said, we just want having fun on track. We don't care, finish first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th. Yeah. Did we have fun? We fight during the race? That's the most important thing. And some, I mean, if they're not winning, they are whining a bit, but what else can we do? I mean, this is a sport. There's winner, there's loser, and maybe it's a problem of the society now. Everybody need to be a winner. I mean, you can't be a second, because otherwise you'll be psychology unstable, because you say, oh damn, I'm not good enough. No, it's normal. It's part of life. There's winner, there's loser. Maybe the other time, next time you'll be a winner. And yes, it's hard, but like I said, when I think it's more difficult when a full pro field than what we got, because with amateur drivers, some of them are just here for fun. Honestly, there's no prize money, there's nothing. There will never be prize money in SPC. Actually, the driver asked for it. They said we never prize money because we prefer that you lower the entry fees instead of getting prize money. So you're winning what? Trophy at the end of the year, at the end of the day. So just having fun. That's the most important thing. That's what our race director Terry Dale always saying to at the race meeting, driver meeting. Sorry, guys, have fun.
Yeah.
We're here for fun. I mean, nobody's making out of living with it. So
That is so true. And Terry has been with racing for maybe 20 years, 30 years, I don't know, forever. Terry is the most amazing person I've seen in the racing sport in Canada because it's such a small world. But one of the things that I consistently hear from the competitors is that they want to have fun. It is a primary driver for a lot of people because, nobody can. Some teams start with Canada and then they continue as their career. But most of the competitors that I've seen in my years just want to have fun because that allows people to really connect with themselves. It allows them to get into that state of mind that is separate from their work. They get to forget about the life. The world of motorsports is like a bubble. You enter the paddock and you're in a different world. There are different rules. Everybody knows the rules. That's kind of the thing that I've always noticed. Whenever you enter the paddock, you know what the rules are. You know everybody, and so people come here as an escape, but also to reconnect with who they are. And so the spirit of sportsmanship is so important in the sport itself. And that is why I think the best series do it well if they actually capitalize on the sportsmanship more than anything else.
Sure. I mean, what else can we say? That's why some pro series in the state right now are struggling. Let's say not IMSA, because IMSA it's the pinnacle of road racing in North America, but let's say SRO, that they lost their family atmosphere. They bring a lot of European style racing in North America without, I don't think people have as much fun as they were in the 90s and 2000 when you were showing up with your own build car trying to beat a factory Porsche or a factory Acura or whatsoever. I think it's very, very, very important to keep that feeling. You can see something this weekend. They bring their kids. I mean, it's a pro. You can look at all the setup in the paddock. I mean, we got 50 foot long trailer, hauler, and smaller trailer, but people are here with their dog, their family, their kids, having fun, enjoying. Yes, it's serious when it's time to racing, but then let's have fun. I mean, when we went to Atlantic Motorsport Park Saturday night, we did a big barbecue, and everybody was there in the middle, and we had a band, rock band, playing music, and it was magical, honestly.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And so I'm going to wrap this interview for now, but at the end, I want to ask you if the people are listening who are in Canada and who are curious about racing but don't know where to start, how to start, the Super Production Challenge, could it be one of the entryways for them to start? How would they even begin to conceptualize starting racing?
First of all, visit the track. Go and see races. Go to the paddock, talk to the teams, ask questions. Honestly, it's the best way. Have a guy. For the last 3 seasons, we see him at Mosport, Calabogie, Trois-Rivières. That kid want to race. He want to race SPC. He's asking questions. He's trying to find sponsorship. He have a good idea. He knows now, seeing the paddock, that he don't have the skill to prep a car. So he know now that he need to rent a car. So he's asking questions, how much does it cost? Not giving phone calls or email at the track. And now he got a pretty good idea how much money he need to find to go racing. And then you need for sure go do some lapping, be at the track. I mean, the spectators, any kind of way to be at the track, that we see you, we know you, and the opportunity will show up. Do a racing school, have your license ready, buy your stuff, your equipment, be ready, and then jumping in. I mean, rent a car and have fun, but you need to start somewhere. You can do regional racing, you can start with SPC. This year we have 9 rookies in the series. We got 5 ladies running in SPC. Half of the grid in compact are ladies. and those ladies are hard on themselves. Honestly, between them, it's crazy. I think it's worse than men. I mean, when they're battling together, I don't know if what's happened, but it's very intense, I would say. So my best advice: go to the track. Period.
Yeah. Well, there you go. If you are somebody who is completely new to the motorsports, visit the track, do your research and see for yourself. But if you're somebody seasoned, Super Production Challenge is actually doing quite well. It is the place to be right now in motorsports in Canada. So come and check it out and see if you want to join this, because the competitors are awesome. The spirit of the racing still is alive and quite well, and you're just gonna have a lot of fun. So that is it. This is Dominic St-Jean, part owner of Super Production Challenge, and or starter.
I'm the creator.
The creator of the Super Production Challenge. So check out the website. I will add the links in the description below, and reach out, check it out, do your research, and visit the track. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.